Ari, it's Batgirl issue 25, and this is the start of that run, but more importantly, it is a chance to talk about the bizarre treatment and the rejection of customers by comic book professionals. I was, and still am, a big fan of this run. I mean, you can watch my last video, where I basically just said that the annual was really good for a solid 8 minutes. And I do like this issue, and the run in general, and I wanted to try and drum up some support for this book. I wanted to get people talking about it. I wanted new people to check it out. I'll just be honest. I wanted to try and get a hashtag going. I am embarrassed about that because I am a grown man, but hashtags are good for that sort of thing. I tried to start hashtag support Babs, because that is her nickname, short for Barbara. I was trying that because I want this book to do well, not for any agenda or ulterior motive. I wanted people to get on board with this book because it is a good book, and I didn't want it to just be cancelled. Especially after nearly a decade of absolutely atrocious Batgirl stories. It would be a terrible precedent for the book to only be cancelled after it finally gets good. And this writer, she is good. She writes good comics and she is professional. She mostly posts about comics on Twitter, and I still do think that this is a good book. This issue is mostly a series of vignettes showing different sides to Batgirl's character. But the writer, after I had made a few tweets and replies about supporting the book as much as praising the book, I pretty much just got a pushback from her. Didn't get us wrong, she was polite about it and on one hand understandable, but on the other hand it is fucking bonkers. She is effectively saying no thanks for me actively supporting her book. She even said she would actually block us if I ever at her into a tweet again. You know, because of all them horrible, nasty, sexist comic gators or something. And just the whole thing, I didn't really fault her for her attitude. She was polite, as I said, and when it comes down to it, I think it's very easy, especially online, to be sold misinformation. And to be working at DC or Marvel or Image or whatever, I mean, come on, get real. Of course, they are only ever going to hear the version of events where, anyone who follows diversity and comics, or anyone who makes YouTube videos, or anyone who posts pictures of buying your comics with a hashtag, they are all white supremacist, evil harassers of women who hate everybody. And this writer, she's probably good friends with the same people who have just exaggerated or lied for their own need to be a victim. The ones that pretend that Comic Gates is the bane of their existence and that absolutely everyone everywhere is Nazis. I was a supporter of this book. I was willing to invest in it. I wanted to push it on people and try and get new readers to jump on board, but apparently I'm not good enough for this book. I'm the wrong sort. Someone who has actually bought every issue. Someone who really wanted to try and get some support for the book going. Someone who thinks that the first issue of the run, was really good. This main story, well, the first one, it's about Batgirl saving a guy from Scaredy Cat, and then the Joker's killed him anyway, and it's a bit miserable and dreary. But then we have the second one with her and Robin, and it's exploring their relationship, and it's all the more tragic since immediately after this, Tom Queen had Robin get shot in the head and lose all of his memories. It has got great art. And then there's this one, the third one. This sets up the first villain for the new run. He is an art thief and a murderer. This one, it shows how she is a good detective. The first one showed her care and empathy. The second one showed her relationship. And this one shows her detective ability. This is the regular artist for the book too. But again, this writer, to get back to it, I get the feeling that this writer, and it's coming loose at the bottom staple there, this writer doesn't want me to buy her comic, much less review it, just because I'm guilty by association. Apparently, supporting the book isn't acceptable if you are actually going to talk about it, or review it, or praise it. Because, you know, harassers of women and bullies and that. And I don't know about you, but I think judging people and generalising people, that actually sounds like something the prejudice side would do. This one is the fourth story. It's by Paul Dinners from the cartoons, and it's kind of showing Batgirl's generic superhero side. But with this book, the thing with the main writer, I'm just kind of burnt out over it. On one hand, she was polite and explained herself, and as I said, it can't be helped that she's surrounded by misinformation, or she believes her friends or whatever. But on the other hand, she said she would block me for showing I supported her book. I mean, imagine that, blocking someone for actually buying your product. Like, okay, block Diversity and Comics, or Nathan Van Scribbler, or whoever has harassed your friends. But treat people on a fucking individual basis. I insulted Chelsea Kane once. I joked about how her Vision comic never came out, and used that as an excuse to block us. Different blockers just because you didn't like the idea of me supporting your book, or what I could be, or what I might one day think of your comic. If you're just blocking someone for following someone else, or using a hashtag, fucking grow up. That is like refusing to go and eat any food ever because you didn't like steak. As I said, I keep going back and forth on it. At first I was really negative about it. I felt spurned. Then I felt, well, at least she didn't just block us outright. She explained it. She warned us she'd block us if I did it again. She pointed out her concerns. But then, on the other hand again, it's insane. And I imagine if she ever sees this video, she will just block us. So with that in mind, this is a good book, but should you support it? Well, if you want to be blocked by the woman writing it, go out and buy it and talk about it, say that it is good. As I said, all my points still stand. I at no point criticised her comic or even suggested that there was an element that wasn't good. They are a good writer, and that should be what is important. But at the same time, what good is a writer if nobody is reading? I am going to keep buying it, partly because the writer is so keen to reject me as a customer. They obviously didn't like us or didn't want us as a reader. And why should I honour that? But also, I like this book. I rate this book 7 thumbs up.